All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is V. Ravi Kumar. The headlines. Government says it is committed to safe evacuation of Indian nationals stranded in Afghanistan. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to launch National Monetization Pipeline today. Government summons Infosys MD and CEO Salil Parekh over persistent glitches in income tax e-filing portal. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur to launch Iconic Week today as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. 59-day-long symbolic annual Amarnath Yatra concludes. Last rites of former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Singh to be performed at Ganga Ghat in Narora this afternoon. Shelly Singh wins silver medal in long jump at Under-20 World Athletics Championships in Nairobi, misses gold by 1 centimeter. And 54 athletes to represent India at Tokyo Paralympics beginning tomorrow. As the nationwide pre-COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in details. As the nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in Morning News since the 16th of August and will continue till the 15th of August 2022.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव.
And coming to our third question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz in English. Name the commission set up by the Britishers in 1920 to probe the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. May I repeat the question? Name the commission set up by the Britishers in 1920 to probe the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Listeners can send their responses to the question over email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. One participant will be selected as a winner and will be announced in tomorrow's 8:30 morning bulletin. The winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize. Minister of State for External Affairs, V. Muralidharan says, the Union government is committed to the safe evacuation of Indian nationals stranded in Afghanistan. Speaking to media persons in Kochi this evening, the minister said, the focus now will be to evacuate those who have expressed their desire to return and have contacted the helpline numbers of the External Affairs Ministry.
An Indian Air Force special repatriation flight with 168 people, including 107 Indian nationals, yesterday landed at Hindon Air Base in Ghaziabad from Kabul. Afghanistan Member of Parliament Narinder Singh Khalsa, who had been evacuated in the flight, spoke about the current situation. Earlier, the first batch of 135 Indians who were evacuated from Afghanistan's Kabul to Doha over the past days were repatriated to India on Saturday. The Indian Embassy in Doha, Qatar, provided consular and logistical assistance to ensure safe return. In a tweet, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Orindam Bagchi said that an Air India flight carrying 87 Indians departed from Tajikistan for New Delhi on Saturday. 2 Nepalese nationals were also evacuated. He added that more evacuation flights will follow. India is airlifting its nationals through Dushanbe in Tajikistan and Qatar. Indian Air Force has already evacuated around 180 passengers, including India's ambassador to Afghanistan. The External Affairs Ministry has urged all Indian nationals in Afghanistan requiring assistance to contact its special Afghanistan cell immediately. It has set up the cell to coordinate repatriation and other requests from Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, at least 7 people were killed yesterday near the Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul as they attempted to flee the country. UK Defence Ministry said that conditions on the ground were extremely challenging, but they were doing everything they can to manage the situation as safely and securely as possible. The developments came a day after US Embassy in Afghanistan advised its nationals in Kabul to avoid travelling to Hamid Karzai International Airport, citing potential security threats outside the airport's gates. Afghanistan is witnessing its worst ever crisis in decades as the Taliban's control has forced people to flee the nation, fearing their atrocities. About 4,500 US troops are in temporary control of Hamid Karzai International Airport, with some 900 British soldiers also on patrol at the site as part of efforts to secure the evacuation flights.
Taliban have said that hundreds of its fighters are heading for the Panjshir Valley, which is currently the center of the resistance in war-ravaged Afghanistan. Hundreds of Mujahideen are heading towards the state of Panjshir to control the province, Russian news agency Sputnik reported. After the fall of the Ashraf Ghani government, Panjshir remains the epicenter of the resistance led by Ahmad Massoud and Amrullah Saleh, the first vice president from Ghani's cabinet. According to the Russian news agency, members of the Taliban are waiting for an order to attack the holdout Panjshir province northeast of the Afghan capital of Kabul. Earlier yesterday, the Taliban offered Ahmad Massoud, the leader of the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan, to surrender. Meanwhile, Massoud said that they would not surrender and that the locals were ready to fight. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman will launch the National Monetization Pipeline (NPM) in New Delhi today. It comprises a 4-year pipeline of the central government's brownfield infrastructure assets. Besides providing visibility to investors, NMP will also serve as a medium-term roadmap for the asset monetization initiative of the government. Union Budget 2021-22 laid a lot of emphasis on asset monetization as a means to raise innovative and alternative financing for infrastructure and included a number of key announcements.
The Finance Ministry has summoned Infosys MD and CEO Salil Parekh today to explain why, even after 2.5 months since the launch of the new income tax e-filing portal, glitches in it have not been resolved. He has been asked to explain it to the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman. In a tweet, the Income Tax Department said, in fact, since yesterday, the portal itself is not available. Minister of State for Railways Rao Sahab Danve has said that Railway has suffered a loss of 36,000 crores due to the corona pandemic. Railway is facing a 48% loss in passenger service. He was speaking at an event organized at Jalna railway station in Maharashtra. Mr. Danve said, the Mumbai-Nagpur high-speed train project is an ambitious project of the Railway Ministry and it is on priority list. Doubling of tracks between Manmad and Nanded will also be completed on priority basis. But other railway projects will be done after checking the feasibility of the project.
More than 58 crore 14 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under nationwide COVID vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said over 52 lakh 23,000 vaccine doses were administered during the last 24 hours. Over 30,900 new cases of COVID were reported in the last 24 hours. Active COVID cases account for 1.09% of the total cases, which is the lowest since March 2020. India's active caseload stands at 3,53,398, which is the lowest in 152 days. The national COVID recovery rate has increased to 97.57% and is the highest since March 2020. Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj S. Bommai and Education Minister B.C. Nagesh will visit a few schools today when classes 9 to 12 open in districts with COVID positivity rate below 2%. The physical classes are opening today after a gap of over 1.5 years. The classes will be held in batches on alternative days to ensure COVID protocol. We have more from our correspondent.
The physical classes are not mandatory for students with option to continue their online or alternate medium of classes. Students who desire to attend the classes in person can attend the schools for half a day. Their parents need to sign a consent letter while sending the children while mentioning that their wards have no COVID symptoms. The students will be split into groups of 15 to 20 and each batch will have separate classes. Students have to get their lunch from home and warm water will be provided in the schools and colleges. Sanitization for COVID will take place every day. Hand sanitizers are sourced to be provided along with thermal screening. Mask and face shield will be mandatory. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government says it is committed to safe evacuation of Indian nationals stranded in Afghanistan. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to launch National Monetization Pipeline today. Government summons Infosys MD and CEO Salil Parekh over persistent glitches in income tax e-filing portal. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur to launch Iconic Week today as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. 59-day-long symbolic annual Amarnath Yatra concludes. Last rites of former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Kalyan Singh to be performed at Ganga Ghat in Narora this afternoon. Shelly Singh wins silver medal in long jump at Under-20 World Athletics Championship in Nairobi, misses gold by 1 centimeter, and 54 athletes to represent India at Tokyo Paralympics beginning tomorrow. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
आजादी के आंदोलन के खजाने में ऐसे ढेरों शब्द जिन्होंने बदल दिए इतिहास। तारीख बदलने वाले लफ्जों पर आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष कार्यक्रम धरोहर हर सोमवार।
Last rites of former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Kalyan Singh will be performed today afternoon at Ganga Ghat in Narora in Bulandshahr district. Many leaders, ministers and chief ministers are expected to reach the cremation ground. UP government has declared a holiday in the state as a mark of respect for the departed leader. Allahabad High Court and its Lucknow bench is also closed today on account of the demise of ex-UP CM and Rajasthan Governor Kalyan Singh. He breathed his last on Saturday at Lucknow following prolonged illness. Yesterday, many national leaders including Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid their last respects to Kalyan Singh.
वो जीवन भर जन कल्याण के लिए जिए, उन्होंने जन कल्याण का जीवन मंत्र बनाया और भारतीय जनता पार्टी, भारतीय जनसंघ पूरे परिवार को एक विचार के लिए, देश के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए उन्होंने समर्पित किया। कल्याण सिंह जी भारत के कोने कोने में एक विश्वास का नाम बन गए थे, एक प्रतिबद्ध निर्णयकर्ता का नाम बन चुके थे और जीवन के अधिकतम समय वे जन कल्याण को लिए हमेशा प्रयत्नरत रहे।
The mortal remains of the former CM were brought from Lucknow to Maharani Ahilyabai Holkar Stadium in Aligarh yesterday for people to pay their last respects. Singh has been Chief Minister of UP twice and Governor of Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh. He had also represented Bulandshahr and Etah in Parliament. We have a report.
The man synonymous to the Ram Temple movement in Uttar Pradesh is no more. Kalyan Singh played an important role during the temple movement and refused to open fire on car sevaks in Ayodhya on 6 December 1992. A grassroots worker of RSS and later a popular OBC face of Bharatiya Janata Party. Kalyan Singh was in jail during emergency also, but people remember him as a chief minister who wrote his resignation on his letter pad after demolition of Babri Masjid and proudly said that he has no regret. Born in Aligarh district of Western Uttar Pradesh, Kalyan Singh became instrumental in the formation of first BJP government in the Hindi heartland in 1991 and Saffron Party rewarded him with Chief Minister post. He again became Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh in 1997, but differences appeared between him and senior party leaders including Atal Bihari Vajpayee. This was the beginning of the end of Kalyan Singh's charisma. Later he parted ways with the party and formed his own Rashtriya Kranti Party. He came back to party's fold in 2004 again, but left the BJP in 2009 and entered in alliance with his arch-rival Mulayam Singh Yadav of the Samajwadi Party. He again joined BJP and became Governor of Rajasthan, a post he held for 5 years till September 2019. In September 2020, a CBI court acquitted him and 32 others in the long-standing case of Babri Mosque demolition, which was a big movement for Kalyan Singh. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
The 59-day-long symbolic annual Amarnath Yatra concluded as Chhadi Mubarak, the holy mace of Lord Shiva, reached Cave Shrine on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan yesterday. Mahant Dipendra Giri with other priests performed Samapan Puja to mark the end of this year's Amarnath Yatra at the Holy Cave. Jammu and Kashmir government had in June this year decided to cancel this year's Amarnath Yatra but had announced that all the traditional religious rituals will be performed at the Holy Cave Shrine as per past practice. Shri Amarnath Ji Shrine Board had put in place a virtual and televised mechanism for live darshan of Aarti from the Holy Cave.
Information and Broadcasting Ministry will celebrate Iconic Week from today to the 29th of this month as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur will start off the grand celebration that will attract participation from across the country under the overall spirit of Jan Bhagidari and Jan Andolan. During the period, All India Radio News and its regional units will broadcast special weekly programs like Dharohar, Nishan and Aparajita. Dharohar will broadcast speeches of freedom leaders while 75 landmark sites will be showcased in Nishan. More from our correspondent.
The Press Information Bureau PIB will launch microsite on Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, while Bureau of Outreach Communication BOC will release e-book on framing of the Constitution. The BOC will also organize 75 standalone cultural programs relating to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The performances will focus on inspiring stories of unsung heroes of freedom struggle, achievements of India in various sectors, awareness about COVID-19 vaccination, and India's achievements in Tokyo Olympics 2020. Song and drama artists will perform Nukkad Natak, skits, magic shows, puppetry and folk recitals which will disseminate the message of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav through events. The publication division will organize online quiz on freedom struggle and unsung heroes, podcast series on books published by it on freedom struggle, and the revolutionaries will be run. The National Film Archive of India will organize live virtual film poster exhibition on its website. Films Division will also organize online film festivals and webinar on topic India at 75, Technological Advancement in Filmmaking. With Divakar, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
The program, namely Aparajita and the Unsung Heroes, will also be broadcast. All India Radio's daily capsule Azadi Ka Safar Akashvani ke Saath will be reaching schools and colleges across India through the collaborative efforts of Directorate of Information and Public Relations of various states and regional offices of the ministry. Let's listen now to our special program Azadi Ka Safar.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day. The day of 23rd August is important in the history of freedom movement because on this day in the year 1933, Mahatma Gandhi was released from Yerwada jail as his health deteriorated following a fast. In the beginning of August in 1933, Bapu declared his intention to offer individual satyagraha. The colonial government arrested Bapu in Ahmedabad and sent him to Sabarmati prison. Later, he was shifted to Yerwada jail, where he began a fast on August the 16th, because he was not allowed his work for Harijans from inside the jail. However, on August the 20th, he was admitted to a hospital, still a prisoner. By August the 23rd, his condition was serious and he was released unconditionally.
In today's episode, we also bring you the story of a great freedom fighter, Tanguturi Prakasham Pantulu, who is popularly called Andhra Kesari. It was today in 1872 that the famous freedom fighter was born in present-day Prakasham district in Andhra Pradesh. The district was named after him. He is known for his grit and valor against the British. In a famous incident, he stood before the police to shoot at him during the Simon Commission's visit to then Madras in 1928. His act of valor before the British police during the Simon Commission, Prakasham is also well known for his active participation in the non-cooperation movement in 1922. He organized a demonstration by 30,000 Congress volunteers in Guntur. In 1942, when the call for Quit India was given by Mahatma Gandhi during the Bombay session of the Congress, demanding an end to the British rule in India, Prakasham was one of the active participants. He was arrested and jailed for more than 3 years.
During the freedom movement, Prakasham also founded the Swarajya magazine and spread nationalistic sentiments across the country. Tanguturi Prakasham graduated from the Madras Law College. After practicing as a lawyer for 14 years, he went to England and completed the barrister's course to qualify as a lawyer in the Madras High Court. He met Gandhiji for the first time on a ship to London. He was fascinated by Gandhiji's idea for the freedom struggle. He served as State Congress President 4 times before the independence. He also served as the Chief Minister of the state of Madras and Andhra. His administrative abilities were reflected in his important decisions in manifold areas of statecraft. The Zamindari Abolition Report, prepared by him for Madras province, became the precursor of the Government of India's efforts to abolish the system in the country. On May the 20th, 1957, the country lost one of its greatest sons and freedom fighters. India is forever indebted to the selfless service of these great men who fought for the independence of the country.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in next episode tomorrow.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on the 29th of this month. It will be the 80th episode of the monthly radio program. The Prime Minister has invited people to share their ideas on topics he should address on the upcoming episode of the program. People can share their views in the Namo app or MyGov open forum.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will felicitate the Olympians from the services at the Army Sports Institute ASI Pune today. All the armed forces personnel who represented India in the recently concluded Tokyo Olympics, including gold medalist javelin thrower Subedar Neeraj Chopra, are likely to be present on the occasion. Mr. Singh will also interact with the budding sportsmen of ASI and troops during his visit. He will visit the headquarters of the Southern Command. Long jumper Shelly Singh won silver medal at the Under-20 World Athletics Championship in Nairobi yesterday. She missed the gold medal by a mere 1 centimeter. Shelly's personal best effort of 6.59 meters was not enough for gold as Sweden's reigning European junior champion Maja Oskag managed 6.60 meters for the top spot on the final day of the championship. Shelly Singh is trained by veteran long jumper Anju Bobby George and her husband Robert Bobby George. Sports Minister Anurag Thakur has congratulated Shelly Singh on winning the silver medal at the World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Nairobi. In a tweet, Mr. Thakur said she registered a personal best jump of 6.59 meters in the long jump event final. He said, Shelly trains under Robert Bobby, the husband of Indian veteran Anju Bobby George, at the Sports Authority of India National Centre of Excellence, Bengaluru.
54 athletes will represent India at Tokyo Paralympics beginning tomorrow. Indian athletes will compete in 9 sports disciplines, including archery, athletics, track and field, badminton, swimming, weightlifting, among others. This is the biggest ever contingent India has sent to any Paralympics. All 54 athletes are part of Target Olympic Podium TOPS scheme. Bhavina Patel and Sonalben Patel, both belonging to Gujarat, are participating at the para table tennis women's singles wheelchair class 4 category and the women's singles wheelchair class 3 category respectively. 21-year-old Aruna Tanwar is the sole para taekwondo representative at the Paralympic Games from India in para powerlifting. India sending two of the best in Jaideep and Sakina Khatun. And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 17 and 31 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The minimum temperature was 24 and the maximum will be around 34 degrees Celsius. Leh will have partly cloudy sky with temperature hovering between 11 to 25 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy. The national capital Delhi is likely to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain and the temperature will move to a maximum of 35 degrees from 25 degrees. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Bengaluru will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Hyderabad is to have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And Dehradun will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Afghan 6 Hindus among 390 airlifted, reports the Tribune. More evacuation flights on the way, writes the Asian Age. Hindustan Times quotes evacuated ex-Afghan senator as saying, "Didn't know who to trust, work of 20 years gone to zero." 7 Afghans killed in chaos at Kabul airports, reports the Pioneer. For the third day, there are no COVID deaths in the capital, writes the Hindu. Active cases in the country lowest in 152 days, reports the Statesman. The Times of India quotes a warning by a committee of experts that the third wave of the pandemic is looming and may imperil kids. Government considers ban on both factions of Hurriyat. Final call at highest level, headlines the Indian Express. In 3 days, August rain goes from deficit to surplus in Delhi, writes Hindustan Times. Rain triggers landslips in Shimla, roads closed, reports the Tribune. And finally, the Times of India shows a triumphant Shelly Singh on its front page with the headline, "Jhansi girl, new Rani of long jump. Shelly misses gold at Junior World Athletics Under-20 Championships by just 1 centimeter. Before we end the bulletin, a reminder of today's question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Name the commission set up by the Britishers in 1920 to probe the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. I repeat the question. Name the commission set up by the Britishers in 1920 to probe the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Send in your response on the email ID amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. I repeat the email ID. It's amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government says it is committed to safe evacuation of Indian nationals stranded in Afghanistan. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to launch National Monetization Pipeline today. Government summons Infosys MD and CEO Salil Parekh over persistent glitches in income tax e-filing portal. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur to launch Iconic Week today as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. 59-day-long symbolic annual Amarnath Yatra concludes. Last rites of former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Kalyan Singh to be performed at Ganga Ghat in Narora this afternoon. Shelly Singh wins silver medal in long jump at Under-20 World Athletics Championships in Nairobi, misses gold by 1 centimeter. And 54 athletes to represent India at Tokyo Paralympics beginning tomorrow. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.